I love the sound of a rainstorm. And I don't mean just like gentle rain, although I enjoy that too, but I'm talking about the kind that you can hear coming. Like even if it hasn't started raining where you're living, you know it's coming in. And then the rain begins to pound against the windows and you can hear it maybe rolling across the roof. There's thunder somewhere in the distance that's rolling in. Remember when you were little, and at least when I was little, that was God was bowling, or the angels were bowling. But I can sit and listen to it for hours. Doesn't matter if it's far away or if it's close. Even in the worst of it, when I'm convinced that the hail will definitely come through the windows, um, up on my fourth floor. I'm on the top floor and I have this cathedral ceiling and one whole wall in the living room of windows. And it gets so loud, I swear it's going to just break through the windows. And it never does. So I sit, I listen, I ponder, I notice, and I wait. I wait. There's something strange about finding comfort in a thing that's capable of so much destruction. And I'm watching it around the country. There's massive flooding and destruction going on for a lot of people, losing their homes and everything they own and properties, and it's horrific. Um, and at the same time, I still find some comfort in something that is capable of so much destruction. And I get that it sounds a little odd, but the storm doesn't know the difference between me, the person that's listening safely from inside my home, from the person that's watching the water rise. Rain can coax something green out of the dry ground. It can also wash the ground away. I used to live in Arizona and I watched that happen on numerous occasions. But both are true. Both are true. I'm watching things happen in this country that I once thought couldn't happen here. That's kind of what, listening to the rain kind of moved me into, is watching what's going on in the country that I thought wouldn't happen here. Institutions that I assumed were sturdier than they apparently are, little by slowly bending over for Donald Trump. Rights are treated as inconveniences. Cruelty is sort of become the policy for everybody in administration. And lies are repeated so often, that arguing about whether they're lies or not really becomes beside the point. I just surrender. I can't, you know. I had a teacher in seminary say sometimes you can't shake stupid out of people. And while democracy is being dismantled, we keep living, right? The rain keeps coming and we keep living. We make dinner, we answer email, we walk the dog. Sometimes we laugh at something ridiculous, or we stop and notice something beautiful. And I'm living too. That's part of what I keep kind of bumping into. So, and what I mean by that is how do I enjoy a rainstorm, right? I keep living, I'm living too, while democracy is being dismantled, while, the rug is really being pulled out from underneath me. How do I laugh at something ridiculous, tend to one of my many kids, the plants, watch television, sit with people I love, notice something beautiful? How do I let myself have an ordinary life when the circumstances all around me seem to demand that I be perpetually horrified? I don't know. It's not like I have to be perpetually horrified, yet it's so horrific, it's hard not to have sort of this low level being horrified kind of stay there, and it can numb you out. You can actually get used to it, and I don't want us to get used to it. Because I don't think perpetual horror is going to save us, but neither will pretending the storm isn't happening. That won't help us either. So maybe this is where stillness matters, not as an escape, not as denial, but certainly not because everything is secretly going to work out. I don't know that it will. I don't think anyone knows. I know some people believe that, oh, it all works out. It all works out for the good. I don't know that. And I don't think anybody else does either. But I don't have to know. I don't have to know right now because, because what I really need to be doing is staying present long enough to distinguish the sound of rain from the sound of something breaking. Right? Sometimes when you hear rain, especially that hail I was talking to, it sounds like something's breaking. So part of living is staying present long enough to know the difference, to ask what the moment is actually asking of me. Right? In that moment when I'm like, okay, is something breaking? Can I stop and notice the rain? What's it asking of me? Because there's a difference between stillness and standing still. Big difference. Sitting can actually become complacency. And frankly, we don't need any more complacency. We don't. We have plenty. We're all full up. No more room at the inn. Listening can become attention. Noticing can become witnessing. And waiting can be either preparation or dangerous inaction. And unfortunately, I see way too much as waiting as that dangerous inaction. Like, I'm just going to wait. I won't do anything. And to not do anything, to be complacent, is actually dangerous. Life brings storms and stillness, right? After a storm, there's generally a moment or two or even an hour where it just seems kind of still and quieter outside. And the real work may be learning to let that quiet strengthen us, because the storm is going to demand something of us, right? The storm, the resistance demands, requires something from us. It requires our attention. It requires stamina. It requires courage. It requires relationship with each other, even with strangers. There comes a point when contemplation becomes an alibi for inaction. And that sounds harsh, and that's been my experience. That whole thoughts and prayers thing. Contemplation can become an alibi for inaction. So maybe hope isn't believing that the storm will pass, because I'm sure at one point it'll stop, it'll stop raining, yet there's always another storm. So maybe hope isn't believing the storm will pass, but maybe it's staying present to what is happening right here, right now, refusing to look away, refusing to abandon one another while a storm rages, whatever the storm is. So who will we be while it's still raining? Who will we be while it's still storming? Because sometimes storms destroy the house. Sometimes what is lost does not come back. I don't want a hope that needs to pretend otherwise. I don't think pretending serves us in any way. I want the kind that can look directly at what is happening and refuse to disappear. Don't disappear. Maybe hope is smaller than we've made it. Maybe it's listening to the rain for a while, letting ourselves be quiet, to sit, to ponder, to listen, to wait, remembering what we love enough to know why any of this matters. And then, when morning comes, We go outside to see what needs doing. The rain doesn't promise us anything, but yet we're still here while it's raining. And that has to mean something.